Welcome. This is Live with Sarah and Michael. I'm Michael Lewis.
I'm Sarah Clark.
And we've got one heck of a show in store for you today. Don't you say it? It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. This is my first time at College Week Live.
Yeah, so really what we're going to do today, we've got it coming up. We've got some admissions information for you to give you some information about the admissions process, also some information about the academic advising and campus resources and programs that you have as options, just basically what comes after the admissions process. And we have a special treat for you as well. We have an interview. We got an interview going on here. It's going to be Alicia Pham and Terrence Walker. Alicia is a former graduate of Columbia College, and Terrence is a current student. He's a senior this year. So really interesting. We'll get their take on the evening campus, and maybe if you're interested in sending them questions, you can do so. Just feel free to, at any point throughout the broadcast, send us questions, and we'll be happy to answer them. We'll also have admission staff staffing the booth after the broadcast, so you can continue to get your questions answered. Isn't that right? Yeah,
feel free to interrupt us. If you have questions, we'll take your questions as we're currently taping. Send us your questions.
All right. So one of the things that people, one of the interesting pride points about Columbia College is, we're a very unique school. We've got a rich history, and the evening campus especially has its own unique points. And Sarah, tell us some interesting facts about the evening campus.
Thanks, Mike. I can talk about the evening campus all day long. So I know we only have a short time together, but I do want to highlight some certain aspects. Columbia College's evening campus has over 35 years experience educating non-traditional students. So that's a wide variety of students that we service. But not only the evening campus, but Columbia College since 1851 has been educating students and providing higher education access. So 1851, we've done a lot of great things in higher education, so hopefully you can be a part of that team. Within Columbia College, especially the evening campus specifically, we have 5 8-week sessions throughout the year. So we afford you many opportunities to take classes all throughout the year, starting in August, but going all the way through spring breaks, over Christmas break. We have 2 weeks in between each of our sessions. That flexibility that we offer in the evening campus allows you to get your education at your own pace. And so we really can fashion your education to what you want in the evening campus. Part of that education is not only coming to class, but also how are you going to pay for it, right? So one of the major questions we get is how much does it cost, right? It's in the national news. And so how much does our education cost? We provide a slide that gives you our credit hours for on-campus, the evening campus cost, our online classes, and our nursing classes. A special or unique aspect about evening campus students is you can take both face-to-face classes and online classes in any given session. A full-time student is two classes every 8 weeks, so you can do an online class and an evening campus class all in the same session. So that affordability, coupled with the flexibility, gets you in and out in less than 4 years potentially.
And, now that we've covered that, let's talk about how do you get started? If you're like, hey, I want to get started, how do I do it? So the steps to getting admitted, just the basic admissions requirements, just basically if you break it down into its simplest forms, it's apply, get us your stuff, and which is very important.
We'll talk about the stuff.
We'll talk about the stuff in a minute. And then we'll review you for admission, and then if you're admitted, there you go. So first step, apply. So go to the website, go to www.ccis.edu/apply. You'll complete your application, and there's an application fee, $35.
$35, right? That's not a lot of money.
No.
And how long does it take?
Yeah, it takes about 20 minutes to do the app. It's super simple and straightforward. And if you ever need help with the app, that's what we're here for, the admission staff. You can contact us. We'll be able to reach out to you and help you. But in addition to that, once you complete your application, go ahead and do your FAFSA at the same time. FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. I always say, you know what? Application takes about 20 minutes. Carve out about an hour 15, and go ahead and do your FAFSA. That way you know it's done. Our school code is listed on the website. You can find it easily. And then in addition to that, make sure you send us your documents after you're done with the application and your FAFSA. The stuff, the meat and potatoes of it. So that would be your high school transcript if you've never attended a college institution that includes dual credit. Make sure we get your high school transcript, your GED transcripts if that fits you better if you're a GED recipient. College transcripts, military documents, we'll need those as well. So if your JST, your Joint Services transcript, your CCAF transcript, which is your Community College of the Air Force, we can go on and on. There's stuff. It's a very individualized process. So once you apply, your admissions counselor will reach out to you about what documents you need to turn in to complete that process.
And I think that's key, right? So when you're applying to college, it can be super confusing at times. But with Columbia College, we're small enough to provide you with that unique opportunity to have a counselor one-on-one. So you'll be assigned to a counselor, and then you'll be able to contact Michael directly, right? He gives you his home phone number sometimes, right?
I know that. But we do try to make it super convenient, and that way you can reach out to us and get those questions answered. As you can see, the admissions requirements. So we're going to talk about that real quick. The admissions requirements for a freshman student is up there. Now, freshman includes those who, if you've taken college classes but you don't have at least 24 or higher as far as credit hours, you're considered a freshman. So just keep that in mind. Dual credit classes, that counts.
So dual credit, you took high school classes that count towards college.
Right, that you were dually enrolled in a college and while you were in high school. So make sure you get us those during the admissions process. We won't admit you without it. But we also look at that, the GPA that you earned in those courses during the admissions review process. And
that just helps. Getting those credits helps you kind of further along the process, right? So you don't want to kind of double up on classes. If you've already taken a class, we don't want to have to make you take another class. So tell us about the class that you've already taken. We'll get it applied to your transcripts, and then that'll get you even closer to your degree.
Absolutely. And so as you can see, transfer students, these are for people who have the quite a bit. Most of our transfer students, we have a very liberal transfer credit policy. So we're willing to try to make it work with what you've already done at other institutions to make that transition. As Sarah said, you don't want to do this forever. We want to try to use what you've done to help you further your degree and at a faster pace if possible. So we're looking for a 2.0 cumulative GPA for transfer students. So that's what we're looking for on that. If you're probably sitting there thinking right now as you see these slides, oh no, what if that's not me?
Yeah.
What if that's not me? What if I don't meet those requirements? Well, know this. There is another option. It is called ARC, Admissions Review Committee. It's made up of select faculty and staff that will review those documents that you submit in the admissions process, in addition to either an interview that you do with your admissions counselor or a letter just stating your academic history, explaining it, because there's always a story behind the grades. And then in addition to that, tell us about your plan. What is your plan for success at Columbia College? And the committee will look at that, and then they'll make a decision. So just don't look at the information here and think, not for me, I don't know what I'm going to do. We have another option, so just keep that in mind.
So it sounds like we provide many options for admissions, right?
We do.
It's not just a one path and you're in or one path and you're out. We provide you with multiple paths to get you in Columbia College. We want you to experience the same thing we experience daily at Columbia College, especially in the evening campus.
Exactly. And so, when we talk about that FAFSA, how important it is to do in the very beginning, because all financial aid hinges on that FAFSA. It's the free application for federal student aid. As you can see on that slide, we list the different federal options from Pell Grant to work study to Stafford loans to even our institutional aid. We do have scholarships for evening students, but in order to be eligible, you'll need to have that FAFSA on file. So make sure you do that. And, again, another individualized process, financial aid. It can be tricky, but it can be. But if you approach it correctly, it can be a very smooth process. And what you can do, we have you can meet with financial aid personnel, and you can schedule appointments with them and go over everything that you need to make sure that process you're from start to finish is as smooth as possible. And just make sure. Looks like we've got 2 questions out there. So
first one: if I am not admitted, can I apply again?
If you were not admitted, you can apply again. If you, I'm assuming you were probably a readmit and you've sat out maybe longer than a year. Is that if your application itself is good for a year, so if you have applied within the last year, you may just want to follow up and find out what your status might be. You can always check your admission status online via the Cougar dashboard. It lists what items we're still missing, but you can always reach out to contact the admissions office, and we will provide contact information at the end of this. So feel free to reach out to us.
That's a great question. Thanks.
Plan to graduate in 2015. When should I fill out my application and FAFSA form?
That is a great question. The FAFSA, you may want to Repeat the question. I'm sorry. For FAFSA, the question was whether or not when to fill out. You're graduating in 2015. When should you fill out the FAFSA? When should you apply? So the application, you can complete that now.
Today.
Today. Go ahead and do that. But you may want to wait on the FAFSA because it is a very financially sensitive document. It's going to need some financial information from the previous year's taxes, and so you may just want to wait until next February to apply to fill out that information if you're starting in the fall of 2015.
Yeah, so what I hear you saying is it depends on when I want to start. So
Correct.
If you want to start today, fill out that FAFSA and application today. If you don't want to start until August, then you can fill out your application today but wait on that FAFSA.
Right.
But ultimately, in addition to the information that we're going to give you to contact the admissions counselors, we're going to give you information just to contact any of our offices here. The admission counselors are that kind of the gateway, so they push questions out to any office on campus. And we actually have a third question.
Where can I get help to complete the FAFSA?
Through our, it's the
They can get help to complete the FAFSA at many places.
Correct. Through the campus, if you look on our website, there's a financial aid link, and it takes you to a page that lets you schedule an appointment with financial aid personnel that can help you assist, that you actually schedule an appointment, sit down face-to-face with them. They can answer all of those questions. Plus, our website, on that financial aid page, breaks down the FAFSA, I believe, in like 4 or 5 steps.
Yep.
Feel free to check that out as well, then ask any questions that you might have afterwards.
And ultimately, with those appointments with financial aid, as with Michael and as with the evening campus, we have day and evening appointments available. So our office in the evening campus, we're open till 8 p.m. So we try to make that flexible for you as well, because we know that you're busy and you're working during the day.
And so, now that we've talked a little bit about the admissions process, and feel free to continue to ask questions.
Those are
if you
great
have
questions.
Them.
Thanks so much.
Really, they really are. So now we're going to say you've gone through the admissions process, and you're admitted. So now what happens? What happens
Now
next?
what happens, right?
Yeah.
So the real fun begins, right? So you've gone through the admissions process, you've done your FAFSA, you're accepted into Columbia College's evening campus. The first step you'll take once you're admitted is meeting with your advisor. We have 3 advisors ready and willing to meet with you. During that first meeting, you'll meet for anywhere between an hour or half hour to an hour appointment, depending on your needs. And during that appointment, you'll talk about a wide variety of subjects, mainly Columbia College and what your career is going to look like here. But you'll talk about that degree program, how many classes you need to take, if you have transfer credits in, what those transfers look like, how do they apply then to your degree plan, what your degree plan is, if you want to be double major, major minor, all kinds of options available. Our advisors are extremely apt and ready to work with you in any of those processes. In addition to meeting with your academic advisor, you'll talk about that degree program. We threw that slide up there for you that mentions probably about 20 of our degrees here, but there's more. So we didn't want to put them all on one slide because it can get a little crowded.
It can,
Some of our most popular or our most asked about majors are criminal justice, forensic science. But what you'll see from this slide is that these majors are practical. We want to give you those, we want to allow you to have access to those practical classes that allow you to put your best foot forward in that workplace, right? Because that's ultimately the goal of higher education.
Right, and you'll get to see some of the results of a Columbia College education, but that's an important aspect of, the quality of the program and what makes up the program.
Yeah,
so,
how you use that degree in the marketplace after you graduate.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to all of our degree programs that we list on that slide, we offer small class sizes. And that's something, I like to talk about a lot because we have a 20-to-1 student ratio. We keep these classes small for a reason, right? The reason is we want to have that individual contact with our students. So I not only am the assistant director of the evening campus, but I also teach for the evening campus. And I like that one-on-one aspect that I have with my students because I know their names and they know kind of their classmates as well. So it's not only like teacher relationships, but it's also that learning community in that classroom.
And that's so important, the fact that your instructor knows your name and they know more about you and you get better service. They're part of that. That's so important for just your experience in the classroom, retention. It's a very important aspect. We pride ourselves in our small class sizes.
In addition to those small class sizes, we have experienced faculty leading those classes. And we really focus when we hire our instructors on that real world application of your degrees. And so we have practicing professionals teaching you in those classes, in our business classes, in our CJ classes, criminal justice classes, forensic science, nursing, human resources. So all this combined provides for a dynamic and very interesting classroom experience. And it looks like we have another question as well.
Yes.
Have a busy schedule. Can I talk with my advisor over the phone.
Perfect. So you have a busy schedule. Can you talk to your advisor over the phone? Yep. There's many ways. Face to face, definitely. Over the phone. Or via email. So if you want to shoot your advisor an email and communicate that way, everybody's busy this day and age, and those phone appointments more and more are filling up faster than our face-to-face appointments because we work during the day.
And let's also add to that the orientation when you get admitted to the college, there's new student orientation. They've made it so easy for you. There's orientation in the evening that would be during a scheduled class time. It's a similar time frame. There's also Saturday orientation. Yep. So then you can show up on a Saturday if you're busy, and if you do an email appointment or phone appointment, and you want to say, hey, I want to go and maybe learn more about Columbia College. Make sure I know where my classes are, things like that. Show up to orientation. Where to park? I mean, just simple as that, but that's what the orientation is for, and they do a great job at making sure that you have everything that you need to be successful from day one. I'm
glad that you mentioned the times of our orientation, because that then reminded me we have flexible class times as well. So our classes begin around 5:15, go to 7:30, but then we have a later class that starts at 7:45 and goes till 10. So you have an option a Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday to take 2 classes back to back or 1 class throughout that 8 weeks. We also have online classes available. So I stated that we make that flexibility for you so you can combine an online class and an evening campus class for those busy schedules, or some of us have kids out there that are pulling us in 8 million different directions, and so it's hard sometimes to get on campus, so we prefer those online classes. But also we have Saturday classes now, and so those Saturday classes are from either 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning till around noon, depending on the class and how we're running it. The other option we have are hybrid classes. And so hybrid classes are a combination of both face-to-face and online all in the same session. And so you meet 1 day a week, and then the rest of your work is done online. So there's a lot of flexibility in that schedule.
We're innovating how we offer classes to make sure that it's more convenient for you, to make sure that you're learning in a way that we can that you can learn and it's more comfortable for you, and it meets your schedule, fits your schedule within reason. We try to make that happen. So they also poll the students. What do you want? What classes do you want as Saturday classes? What classes do you want as hybrid classes? And they try to take that into consideration as much as possible.
Yeah, so we listen to you. So you have the opportunity to kind of fashion your own education in many different ways. The first line is talking to your admissions counselor, and then that second line is talking to your advisors, because your advisors then help us make our decisions. Yeah, we have another question. Definitely.
Where do I find course schedules?
Course schedules are available on our website mainly. So if you go to www.ccis.edu/evening and click on course schedules on that page, you'll get, we're currently in the March session. We're in our second week of the March session. Our summer session's the next one coming up. We'll have that schedule posted within the next 3 weeks for you. But we have it, for those of you watching, if you're interested in that summer schedule, you can always call our office and we can give you a little preview of that summer schedule if you're interested.
All right, and so now we're going to talk a little bit more about the resources that you can find on campus.
So we really want to appreciate these. We really appreciate these questions. They kind of help us with the flow and help us remember what we need to talk about too. So please keep them coming. In addition to that, the small class sizes and the experienced faculty in those dynamic classes, we have plenty of resources that help you outside of the classroom as well. And so you'll see from that first slide, my personal favorite is Stafford Library, near and dear to my heart. So with the library, there's classroom space available, there's quiet space available, they have computers linked to printers. So it's just a resource that you can go for kind of a quiet study space if you need it. But also we have access to a preponderance of online resources, because you're going to be writing papers in those classes and you can't just Google your answers, right?
Correct.
In addition to the library. Do you have personal experience with that, Michael?
No comment.
In addition to the library, we have both math and writing tutors available in our math and writing centers. But in addition to those tutors, what's really great about our tutoring center is that you have access to physiology tutors, biology tutors, chemistry tutors, accounting tutors, some tutors for your business classes as well. So we offer a wide variety of tutors that help you throughout your career here. So, I mean, personally, I gotta tell you, writing was hard for me when I was an undergrad, and so I was in that writing lab every other day. And so those tutors, they're not only experienced tutors, but some of them teach for us as well. So they have that inside track where they work closely with our instructors, and some of them are instructors to kind of guide you in the right direction. But I think, Mark, we had another question.
Do you use teaching assistants in the classroom?
We do not use teaching assistants in the classroom. Each of our instructors are vetted through, they have at least a master's degree. Many of them have PhDs or multiple degrees teaching those classes, but no TAs or teaching assistants. Another resource we have is our student commons area. We put this on here because it's I go up there every once in a while on my break. It's a great study space. It has comfy chairs, computer spaces, and group work or spaces where you can meet with groups. I always see students kind of meet in the commons, having a coffee and talking about their group work.
Yeah, it's a great place to meet and to go over things. And yeah, you can't beat the Cougar Cafe. They serve Starbucks. I mean,
we're all coffee drinkers.
Right. It's perfect. You can't beat it. So, moving right along here to another important resource, it's our Career Services Department. The Career Services Department is there for you from day one, as soon as you're admitted. As you know, the education is important, but what comes after is important too, making sure that you're ready and prepared for the workforce. They can help you with resume writing, mock interviews. They do workshops throughout the year, anything from etiquette dinners to speed networking, just to make sure that you're prepped and ready to go when you leave here, or even while you're here. Like I said, you have access to it.
Yeah.
As a student, being an adult student, you may want to change careers and get some experience. Internships is a big thing right now for evening students. They have quite a bit of internship information out there that you have access to, and they're a great group.
Yeah, that practical work experience.
Right, yeah,
right?
You can't beat it. The other thing, the other service is veteran services, and this is very important. 30% of our student body at Columbia College is affiliated with the military, whether they are active duty military, veterans, or dependents. Veterans or active duty military personnel. So they have very unique needs. We recognize that. We want to serve them. We want to make sure that we are there for them. Anything from getting those special transcripts from the military for the admissions process.
Kind of that stuff we talked about earlier.
That stuff that we talked about. To the GI Bill, making sure their education funding that they have the right paperwork in, things like that, to just transitioning, going from active duty back into civilian life. They understand you. They are there to help you. It's a walk-in office. We have another question.
Are the campus resources available after evening classes?
Yeah, they are. The resources we have available are not only are for our day campus students from 8 to 5, but they're also there from 5 to 10 as well, especially that Cougar Cafe with the Starbucks coffee. So we do have resources available for our evening campus students as well. And on Saturdays. Our campus is open on Saturdays. Library has our library is open on Saturdays. Computer labs are open on Saturdays. You're going to talk about the fitness center in a minute, but yes, our resources are available on Saturdays. But before we move on to the fitness center, I did want to mention the CCNet, and so
yes.
you introduced me to that.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's the Cougar Career Network. It's like a Monster.com, just baked into the Columbia College website. They take job listings from all around the country, and so you can basically sign into this, find jobs, whatever you need to do as far as, locating new job prospects. It's in there. It's in the CCNet. Like I said, with the assistance of the Cougar Career, the Career Services personnel in that office, combined with the CCNet, you really can't lose. You really can't.
Yeah, so it sounds like these resources, we're giving you the tools to succeed here, the tools to succeed. And so with these resources, we help you in the classroom, but then outside the classroom as well, while you're a student. But I really like the Career Center and Veteran Services for that matter, because it's after you're a student as well.
And so, moving right along, it looks like we've got some programming information for you. So, looks like we got some stuff coming up, some good stuff.
Yeah, so we talked about it at the start, is our interviews with our former student and our existing student. So we're super excited that they decided to join us today, and we really want to thank them for their time. So we're going to take a little bit of break to get them set up. So we'll do a little switch out, and then we'll be right back.